Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space where I share my memory keeping projects and processes with all of you. My name is Crystal and I am super excited that you guys are here today. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I have an unboxing that I want to share with you of the newest Feed Your Craft releases from June 2020. But in addition to the unboxing, I want to take you guys through the process of project planning with me. Often when I get these new kits and I start creating the projects and posting them on Instagram and YouTube, I always get questions about how I come up with the projects that I am creating. So I thought it would be really fun to turn the camera on and take you guys through the process of how I plan my projects for the month. And then once we do the unboxing and we do the planning portion, I will actually create one of the spreads, but I will post that in a separate video. So if you just want to see the project, you can go check that video out. But if you want to see how the ideas came to fruition and what is included in this Feed Your Craft kit, then stay tuned and let's just get right into it. So first, let's talk about the add-on stamps this month. There are two of them. The first one you will most likely have already seen. This was a special stamp set that was released for Feed Your Craft's 6th birthday. This one is called Walk This Way, and it's designed by In a Creative Bubble. And it's all about different aspects of exploring or journeying. I think that's what I was trying to say, but exploring. So we've got What a Wild Adventure with a Little Bear Head, Relax by the Lake, Mountains, Enjoy the Fresh Air, Find Me in the Great Outdoors, Immersed in Nature, Filled with Wonder and little checkboxes, Today's Walk, a little geotag with like a bunch of plants, and it's just super cute. On the trail. So this is really great if you are somebody who likes to go out exploring. It's great for vacations that are in the great outdoors or camping. There are so many uses for this stamp set, and I know I'm super excited to put this one to use. So the second add-on stamp this month is the Apollo numbers. So something that's really cool about the number set is they come with both the what is that called? The fill stamp and the outline. So you don't have to get those separately. Also, this stamp set gives us a bunch of these titles and different ways that we can use the numbers. So there are the slashes, or I know there's a name for that. It'll come to me. Anyway, there are the slashes that you can put in between the numbers to create a date. There are the semicolon that you can use to make a time, as well as AM and PM. We also have like number, where you could put number 1 or top 10 or worst 3 or best 4. And then there is one that says the date. So you can do the date and then actually stamp out the date. So this number set is actually really cool and really versatile for lots of different things. So there we go. Now let's open up the actual, the kit, the full kit for this month. So this month's kit is called A Little Space. Let me make sure that's correct. A Little Space, yes. It's called A Little Space. It comes with an ephemera pack, a set of 3x4 and 4x6 cards, and a stamp set. This kit is super fun, you guys. So the stamp set, we can look at that first, just to get an idea of the different sentiments that are included in this kit. We've got before and after. We've got night, morning, and day, as well as the word good. So you could say good night, good morning, good day. There's also this not a very, so you could say not a very good morning or not a very good day. There are the moon phases up here, and it's just a phase. This is rough, the calm before the storm. Take a deep breath. On the bright side, not ready for this. The star pattern, that's really awesome. This super cute floral element that's really cute. The word mood, looking for the good, the new normal, all the messy details. So this one it's really awesome. I actually super love the sentiments that are inside of this stamp set. And I think it'll be really fun to find ways to use it. So then for the 4x6 cards, we've got Writing It All Down, Real Talk. We've got this plus sign type of pattern. This is a great title card with that little section at the bottom. We've got a graph looking paper with a spot where you can add your date. That's a great journaling card. We've got Today Was Okay, Bad, Very Bad. We've got this like wavy type pattern here. And then this one that's got a section in the middle, and the bottom says nope, nope, nope. There's our 4x6s. For the 3x4s, we've got it's not all good, but it's not all bad. We've got these circles that look kind of like the sections, like it's kind of like a moon-ish, but it's got it's just like what do I want to say, like a retro looking circle pattern. Really awesome. Details with spots for journaling. We've got these cloud patterns. Those are pretty cool. They're like gray clouds too. This one that says, I need a little space with stars on it. Not today. I just can't even, for journaling, or you could put a photo there. That would work too. This rainbow, why did I want to say umbrella? This rainbow card right here, feeling all the feelings with the spot for journaling or a photo. This was the poops. That's a funny card. This stripy pattern that's kind of speckled. The only good thing about this, again, you could do a journaling or a photo or some kind of ephemera. Something could go there, and it must be a full moon, or must be a full moon. So there are our cards. So the idea of this this particular collection is to point out that not everything is always so good, right? So ephemera, last but not least, we have a set of, let's get them all here. We have a set of tabs that are cardstock. So this says true story, details, real life, big mood, a bunch of symbols that, is like swearing, feeling, and that's that. So we've got 6 of those. Then we've got 3 2x2 cards. So one says step back, deep breath, start again. This one is again all of those symbols, and then it's okay to not be okay. So there's 3 of the 2x2s. Then we have 2 little sets of vellum embellishments. So there are these 4 little banners. So we've got on the bright side, deep breath, not today, and nope. And then we've also got 3 little title pieces that are also vellum. So we've got today, life, and real. So you could say life today or real life and today. So those are going to be really fun. So those are the releases for today. Keep in mind that when you purchase a Feed Your Craft kit, you also get the digitals included with the physical kit. So all of these items, well, the cards and the stamps will be available digitally. The embellishments will not. Those are just part of the physical portion of the kit. But the digitals will include both the cards and the stamp set. So what I'm going to do next, I am going to put you guys on fast forward here. And I'm going to start to put together some ideas for what to make with this kit. Now, I typically like to tell 1 to 2 stories with my Feed Your Craft kits. And then I also like to set some aside to use for a Project Life spread if it makes sense to do so. So I will most likely be doing that. I will put a set aside for some for some Project Life type cards that I can use, and then I will also pull out 2 to 3 stories that I will be telling as well. So those I will be writing down on my sketch pad, and then I will kind of package everything up and set it aside so that I can work on it as I have time to, and then we will go ahead and put together one of those projects. So I will put you guys on fast forward, and then I'll slow you guys down at the end right before we close out. So let's go ahead and plan some projects. Okay, so let's get to this. So the first thing that I always do when I am planning out projects is to literally just go through my kit just like I did with you guys. So unbox it, look at all of the cards, all of the sentiments, kind of get an idea for the colors and what seems to go with what. And then from there, I can see what really pops out at me. For this kit in particular, the black card that says, I just need a little space, was the first card that stuck out to me as a story I could tell. we have been quarantined in our home for, I think at this point, almost 3 months. Maybe it's more than 3 months. Anyway, it's been a long time, and a lot of times I find myself saying that exact thing, that I just need some space. I just need some alone time. I just need some quiet. And so as soon as I saw that card, I knew that I wanted to tell that story. Also, on a side note, I received this kit and filmed this portion of the video before the astronauts went into space from the US. So if you are here in the US and that is a story you want to tell, that could also be something really relevant to that card too. So there's that as well. Anyway, so I continued on, and the next ones that stuck out to me were the teal card that says write it all down, and the orange card that says feeling all the feels. And I love teal and blue together. They are two of my favorite colors. Not teal and blue. That's the same color. Teal and orange. I love teal and orange together. They are two of my favorite colors, and so that was like instantly I wanted to put those together. Then I saw the it's not all good, but it's not all bad, and the gray clouds, and they had the same color tones. So I thought maybe that could be a story. I put those to the side for now to see what I can come up with later, because I actually don't really know yet what story I want to tell with those. So for now, I just set those aside because they just seem to go together. Then I went through my cards and found other coordinating pieces for the stories that I did figure out. So for the I just need a little space, I liked the like retro looking moon pattern, and I also really liked that orange grid for a journaling place. Then for the feeling all the feels, I found that blue wavy card. I thought that might be a good background paper potentially. And I really like the it must be a full moon card as well, so that I will try to fit in somewhere. It does find a home. It does get a home, but it takes me a while to get there. Then all of the other cards I just set to the side for now and figure that that pile is going to end up being my Project Life pile. So anything that's remaining after I get these stories figured out, that's what I'm going to use for Project Life. Now, whenever I get a kit that's got these 2x2 embellishments in them, or like the little 2x2 cards, I love 2x2 page protectors. If you guys have been following me for any length of time, I'm sure you've seen that I create a lot of projects using the 2x2s because I just love them. I love challenging myself to use the products that are a little bit harder, and the smaller ones tend to be harder like this. But for this one, I struggled. I really had a hard time figuring out what the heck to do with these. I kind of wish that there were 4 of those 2x2 squares, just because I like to have them in each of the 4 rows when I do have a 2x2 spread. Or sometimes if they're all the same, like if I had 3 of the what is that? Like the symbols, I could have used that as a title across the top, or, whatever. So I do kind of bring all of that out, try to figure out what to do with it, and then decide to just set it to the side for now and sketch out what I know I want to do. So here is my first sketch. So this is going to be the Knit a Little Space, and this was the easiest one to come up with because, like I said, it's the story that stuck out to me like immediately when I got this kit. Now, I thought it would be really fun to do something different. I love to try and find ways to include cut files in my projects. So some of the projects you've seen over the past, I've done that with. And this one I thought would be really fun to find a vector image of a space helmet and to cut that out with my silhouette and put a picture of me with the space helmet on. So it would be like a cutout picture of me, and then in the background of that, I thought I could use the stamp set. That's why I brought the stamps over, and there is a star stamp on there that I could use digitally to make a background. So I drew the stars on the back to signify that I want to be the stamp. And then I've got the filler card in there, and then I put the grid journaling at the bottom, and then I'm just going to debate on which card to put in the upper right hand corner, and ultimately this is where the must be a full moon card finds its home, because that's what I decide to go with. So that will be that. So I will finish this up and then just jot a couple of extra notes for myself just so I remember that this story is going to be a story about me, and that those stars are going to be from the digital stamp set. So I always try to write down those notes, if just in case I have to come back to this a couple weeks later, then I can remember what it is that I came up with in the first place. So now I'm going to move on to the second story, which is the Feeling All the Feels. Now, when I saw this, there's one that says Feeling All the Feels and one that says Write It All Down, and it says Real Talk. That reminded me of a story. I told part of it in a previous process video where I really wanted us to take a family photo out in front of our house. And my daughter and I had like a throwdown fight over it. Like, not really. It wasn't that. I mean, I overreacted much more than she did. Like, I don't know though. It was one of those days. So Izzy's 5, and sometimes we have like power struggle stuff, and it's not fun to deal with for either of us. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity to tell that story in its entirety, because if my children look back at these books in the future, I hope they do, and if they do, I want them to see that we were not perfect parents. I want them to see that we messed up, and that we said things we shouldn't have said, and that we overreacted sometimes, and to know that there is no such thing as a perfect parent. We're all just trying our best, but we all make mistakes. So even though it's like not a super fun story to tell about, me overreacting, and by overreacting, I mean acting very poorly. That's not a fun story to tell, but I think that it's worth telling, because I think we all tend to, not all, but a lot of us, me, we tend to put our parents on a pedestal and hold ourselves to like incredibly high standards, and sometimes impossible standards. And I think it's so important to know that everybody makes mistakes, because, we just all fall into that. So that is what that story is going to be about. But as I was sketching it, I just couldn't really figure out how I wanted it to go. So I just set that to the side for now, and I'm going to come back to it later. In the meantime, I thought I would try to see if I could come up with an idea for the clouds. And if you guys are using this kit and you want to tell a story with the clouds, the original thought I had was to take the cloud files and to turn them into a cut file somehow. I thought that might be kind of cool. You could also like blow them up and print them off on vellum. I thought that would be neat, and just do like a whole bunch of them and make like a super cloudy background. That would be cool. But I just wasn't feeling it for me particularly. So I set those to the side, and those cards will go back into my Project Life pile. So I don't end up doing that. That's why I ripped the page right back out. So now I'm going to come back to this again. So I'm determined to figure out this Feeling All the Feels page. And I'm also determined to figure out something to do with those 2x2 cards. So I decided to try out some different cards instead of using the teal, to try and use the Today Was card instead, but I just love the writing it all down card. Then I saw this rainbow card, and I had earlier decided that I really liked the title Today underneath the rainbow, that I think that the scale of that is just really awesome. And then when I grabbed it over and put it next to the Writing It All Down card, I loved the tones. Like, I think that it looks super great. So I decide to abandon the Feeling All the Feels card and instead use this rainbow Today. Now I'm just trying to figure out, okay, well, what other cards do I want to use? Are there any other embellishments I want to use? Like, what do I do with this? And then I just kind of had like a light bulb go off that why don't I take this Writing It All Down card and turn that into a full page journaling spot, especially since this story is a bit longer. It might be nice to have the additional space to add in the full story. Then I decide to abandon the 2x2s, and we'll use those later. But I thought maybe it would be fun to add the real life vellum titles to the bottom of the journaling page, just to give some extra embellishment down there, but also to tie in the today as well. So now there'll be today in the upper left-hand corner, and there will be real life in the lower right-hand corner. So they kind of like draw a diagonal across the whole spread. So then I went ahead and sketched out the rest of this. I decided to add a photo into the 3x4 and the 4x6. And what I thought might be kind of cool is to print a 6x8 photo that has us like juxtaposed to the right, and see if I can make that more of a full page photo with a card kind of in there. So we'll see how that works out, if that's what I end up doing. So then I just jotted down, like, this is the story I want to tell here. Again, just in case I come back to this at a later point in time, so I can remember what it is I was going to do. So now the last story I want to figure out here is something with these 2x2s. Like, this is literally driving me crazy. Also, I want to use that number stamp set that we got as well. So I'm just trying to figure out what to do here. When I was unboxing this kit and coming up with ideas, it was at the very beginning of all of the Black Lives Matter protests, and the police brutality, or the protests against police brutality and for Black rights and equality. So it's before all of that really became a really big thing in the media. But so it was like in its not baby stages, like I don't want to say that. It was just starting to be not relevant. You guys, I'm struggling with the right words. It was just starting to be really accentuated in the media. I guess maybe that's how I want to put it. And I wanted to tell the story of what was going on. And I thought that this kit would be a good kit to use because it is about hard things, like documenting the hard stories. So, and especially the little 2x2 there that has the title, it says it's okay to not be okay, which definitely was a lot of how I was feeling at this time. And, we're still not back to feeling all okay again. I think it's going to be a long time. So I thought, how can I use these pieces to tell that story? So what I decided to do is take that retro looking moon pattern, the black one, and I'm going to alter that digitally into a background paper. Then I thought it would be neat to put photos or journaling cards that I wrote on their photos, but now that I'm looking at it, I might end up using journaling cards instead. I guess we'll see, to like adhere onto the front or on top of that background paper, and then use the tabs and have the tabs attached to the story related to the photo. Because in this case, I have them as photos where you pull it out and that's the story. So I was thinking about telling the three more current and maybe more publicized stories. So George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Ari. I probably said his last name wrong. Ahmaud. I know it's Ahmaud. Anyway, to tell the stories of those three instances. So to just not even have tons of reflection on it, just to have a place to document what really, really lit the spark for this movement right now. So I thought it would be cool, to use those tabs. And I've got ones that says, one of them's a bunch of symbols that, actually, no, it's not what I'm going to use. I say one of them says real life, one of them says details, and one says true story. Those are the ones that I pulled out to use with this one. And then I might use some of those vellum banners as well, like the Nope, or one of them says on the bright side. I probably won't use on the bright side. There's not a ton of bright sides. And then to use my numbers to number the story. So we've got, story 1, 2, and 3. So I am just going to write down those notes again so I remember what I'm doing here. I still feel like I don't have this one fully conceptualized, but, when I actually pull this back out to do it, I may change it. I may keep it the same. But this gives me a starting point and gives me the product that I'm thinking about using. So we'll see what this one really turns out as, especially now that I'm like, when I'm voicing this over, it's much later. It's a couple weeks after I filmed this. And already I feel like the stories have changed drastically. This story particularly, I mean. So now everything else is going to go in a pile for Project Life. And the last thing that I will do is bring over a couple of the glassine bags that these kits come in. Now I keep them all because I like to use them to package up my stories with. So I just grab a sticky notepad, I write down the title of the story as I have it down in my sketchbook, add the product into the glassine bag, and then use the sticky note to seal it back up. So I will do that for all 3 of these stories, and then the rest of them are going to go into a 4th baggie, and that one I'm just going to label as Project Life. So then when a week comes up that I can use stories, like maybe it's a harder week, and I think we've got a lot of hard weeks ahead of us, so it won't be that, I don't think it's gonna take me too long to use that product. I can pull this baggie out and use that to help me design that particular Project Life page. So that is going to be it. So we've got 3 stories and Project Life. So let's slow you guys back down, and we'll go ahead and close you guys out of this video. All right, friends, so there we go. We have got 3 solid stories and 1 packet of remaining supplies to use for Project Life. So, yeah, so these are what I'm going to be working on over the course of the next month. If I, for whatever reason, don't get all of these stories told, having them separated like this and having, you know, a general idea sketched out of what I want to do with them will help me when I go back later to do it at a later point in time. But hopefully I will have time to be able to get all of these done throughout the next month. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to end this video, but I will be posting a second video today doing a process for one of these projects. And I think I'm actually going to start with this one because it's the one that's got me the most excited right now. So we're going to complete the spread, need a little space, and then you can look forward to seeing some of these other stories come to light over the next couple of weeks. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and maybe it gave you some new ideas for how to look through your kit for stories that it can help you to tell. If you guys enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up down below. And leave me a comment letting me know what you guys thought and if you would like to see more videos like this, because this is what I go through literally every single time I get a new kit. So it's not too difficult to just go ahead and turn the camera on and give you guys a glimpse into how I do this. So let me know if this is something that you enjoyed and would want to see more of in the future. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, or I will, see you guys later on in the week. So either way, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to stop by the Feed Your Craft shop if you are interested in picking any of these kits up. All right, I will see you guys in the process. Bye now.